Hi, hello, welcome to Stay Tuned channel. Today we are going to see NCERT Grade 9 Non-Detail Moments 6th Lesson Weathering the Storm in Ersama. We are going to see book back solutions. Question number 1. What havoc has the super cyclone wreaked in the life of the people of Orissa? The cyclone brought with it heavy rains and strong winds. As a result, a majority of houses were demolished or blown away, and only the strong cement houses were spared. Dirty water covered the land as far as the eye could see. Many people lost their lives. Floating human bodies and blotted animal carcasses were seen all around. The strongest of the trees had been uprooted. The scenes were gruesome. Many people lost their relatives and many children had become orphans. There was shortage of food. People were sad and helpless, and a pall of gloom had descended on the people all around. Question number 2. How has Prashant, a teenager, been able to help the people of his village? Prashant set out on his trip back to his village that was 18 kilometers away with the help of a sturdy stick. He tried to get a grip over himself because he was shocked when he saw the effects after the cyclone. He decided to step in as the leader of his village. He organized a group of youths and elders to jointly pressurize the merchant to give rice for the people living in the shelter. He was successful in this task. He then organized a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter and to tend to the wounds of the people who had been injured in the cyclone. Prashant also brought a number of orphaned children together and constructed a polythene shelter for them. While women were mobilized to look after them, the men were becoming too grief-stricken. He persuaded them to start working in the Food for Work program, which was initiated by an NGO. NGO means non-government organization. He also organized sports events for children. He worked selflessly to get his village and its people back onto their feet. Question number 3. How have the people of the community helped one another? What role do the women of Kalikuda play during these days? The people of the community got together and began to help one another under the leadership of young Prashant. They pressurized the merchant to part with the rice he had hoarded for the people in the shelter. They gathered branches from fallen trees to use as firewood for cooking. The military helicopter dropped some food parcels but did not return. The youth task force gathered empty utensils from the shelter and made the children lie in the sand with the utensils on their stomach to communicate to the passing helicopters that they were hungry. The message went through and the helicopters became more consistent in airdropping food and other basic needs. Women were mobilized to look after the orphans while the men secured food and materials for the shelter. In spite of being grief-stricken, the women started working in the Food for Work program started by an NGO. Everyone contributed according to their capabilities. The village stood together in their moment of crisis. Question number 4. Why do Prashant and other volunteers resist the plan to set up institutions for orphans and widows. What alternatives do they consider? Prashant and his group of young volunteers resisted the plan of setting up institutions for the orphans and widows because they feared that they would be required to lead a life without love, affection, and loneliness. Besides, they worried about the stigma that the widows would have to deal with. They alternately planned to resettle them in their own community to provide them with a homely environment. They suggested setting up foster families that would comprise of childless widows who would take care of the orphaned children. Question number 5. Do you think Prashant is a good leader? Do you think young people can get together to help people during natural calamities? Yes, Prashant is a good leader. He forgot his personal grief when he saw the plight of his village and villagers, got hold of himself and decided to lead the excavation, evacuation, and relief activities. He was able to garner the support of all the villagers, and as a team, they stood together in their moment of crisis. This is a great example to emulate. It is the young who should get together to help people in distress, however simple or severe they may be. They have the physical and mental strength and presence of mind to act in the right manner, simultaneously setting examples to their young ones. So, there are only 5 questions in this lesson, but they are quite big. But if you are writing like this, then only you will get good marks. So, you have to read and you can include your own ideas also while writing the answers. So now this lesson is about natural calamities. Let me remind you about the Chennai floods. Even during the Chennai floods, the youngsters were on their feet and helped the poor people and the needy people who wanted food. They cooked in big marriage halls and they served to everyone. So when I read this lesson, I wanted to tell you about the youngsters who are always thinking about others. So youngsters are really very good leaders. So when you are writing your answers, you can add these points also, that about the Chennai floods, and you can write about even Gaja cyclone which came, and after that they were not waiting for someone else or the government to come and help them. So all the youngsters, they gathered together and they collected material, food or water, whatever necessity for the people. They gathered together and supplied to people around in the small villages. So whenever there is a natural calamity, the leaders are the youngsters who gather together and serve for the betterment of the people in their, not only in their villages but the other places also. So you can give examples of Chennai flood, Gaja cyclone and tsunami if you remember. So there are so many natural calamities you can touch here and there and give reference in your answers so that you are getting good marks. Okay, remember that and write your answers. So I hope that you like my answers and you will subscribe my channel and share to your friends also, so that they are also getting benefited by my videos. So I'm not only giving you solutions, I'm giving you videos also which is in English as well as Tamil. So you can watch these videos during this COVID season when you don't have school, and you can get benefited by my videos. So do subscribe click on the bell icon so you are getting notifications, and then you can like, share, and if you have any queries you can comment also. So when you are commenting, I will make sure that I am replying your comments. Thank you. Take care.